How does a person, how do I even begin to explain everything that my Father has shown me after becoming hand in hand with my Abba and with Yeshua and with all of the angels in the highest of heavens, touring the heavens just like Enoch since October 8th of last year? I am here to tell you, y'all, there is not a handbook, there is not a play-by-play for what I have been through, what I have learned, and what I have been shown. But I will say this, there is proof. I'd like to say my Father chose me for this because he knows me for this, because I'm a proof positive person. But I know better, it isn't that he chose me because I am like this, it is because he made me this way for this time. I was a psychic clairvoyant medium. My entire life I'd been able to see and speak with spirits. I denounce that. Please do not ask me for a reading because it is a no. And if you get messages from me, it's not me. In 2022, my Abba told me, stop. That gift, that's not from me. The seeing and the speaking of spirits, but the rest of the gifts, they have been. You see, Satan knew who I was from the time I was in my mother's womb. He knew. Did you know I came out of my mother's womb sucking my finger? This one. Like that. And I actually had hickeys up and down both of my arms. I was self-soothing. I can't say it. I can't say ambulance either. Or real world. But anyways, I was soothing myself even in the womb because it was painful. This world has always been painful for me. I've been, on all accounts, a neurodivergent my entire life. RH negative and able to see beyond the veil. But being able to see spirits since I was little, it became frustrating for multiple reasons. When other people couldn't see the spirits that I had standing before me, I wanted to be able to make it so that they could see it, those who only see through their temporal eye, those who were not able to see beyond the veil. There were multiple reasons for this. Number one, maybe it was their loved one. That was usually the one that I liked the most. And I knew that they would love nothing more than to be able to see them. Or number two, what I was seeing was really, really scary and I didn't want to be there alone. Or number three, and I suppose over the time, and I'm seeing it now, you see certain demons have the ability to cloak. I would feel something bad around me, but unable to see it. Well, I needed to figure out ways to see them, expose them, remove the cloak. Another part of being an RH negativator, I too have a genius IQ. In fact, although I don't have many memories since the GATE program, I do remember in third grade when I was tested, they said I actually had a genius IQ of a 21-year-old, which I guess some matters, that's even bigger than being genius IQ for a third grader. I'm a thinker, yo, which explains the large forehead, which also RH negativators have as well, because something's got to hold in our big brain. But as a thinker, I'm a problem solver. Another point that my Father, I know he chose me or made me this way for this time right now. Because pew, 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 I have been through the fire. But I realized that spirits, they're here, they're all around you. And I was a smoker. They're made up of mass, matter, energy. In all accounts, if I blew my smoke on the spirit I was seeing and took a picture, voila. And it worked. I also realized mirrors should capture it. And that worked. My entire life has been supernatural. And my Father knows I'm a proof positive person. So I have all of the proof of everything he has shown to me. I have 135,000 photos on this phone alone. Yeah, my iCloud game is strung on fleek. It's platinum double-crested diamond. But I could not figure out, Father, how, when, or if I was even supposed to share it. All of it, or any of it. Was this just my journey to get me to where I am now? To ultimately just teach people be good? All of the things Yeshua has taught us. Sing, rejoice, make a joyful noise. Forgive, love like I do. Love your Father first and foremost with your heart, mind, body, and soul. Have no fear. Be still and know that I am Yah. All of the things that the Bible's already taught us, now I've just understood why. Because I thought my life was supernatural before, but I'm here to tell you, I am living long beyond the veil every day of my life. One day I sat down and I have my vision art. You guys know about that. And before we continue with this, I need you to know this. It was never a bad thing. It was always my Father. Yes, I burned the other 3 doors, but it was part of the process. But it has always been my Father, the Holy Spirit. It's always been Yah behind the pencil. I just hold it. I was gifted with the gift of vision art through the Holy Spirit in 2001. Before that, I could not draw a stick figure to save my life. I began sharing this gift on TikTok, and it always had been vision. My 2 rules, I've always known this. No matter how bad I want something on the door, because I draw on wood, I can't put it unless I see it in a vision. And number 2, if I see the vision, I have to draw it, No matter how wonky, weird, or irrelevant it seems at the time, those end up being my favorite. But now I understand something else. You have to do it that way, or none of it will work. As I was working on door number 2 last year, things changed. And it all started with a clock. Things began appearing in the door more than a vision. They're in the wood. And that is how my art is completely now. I kind of feel like I'm cheating. It feels like a paint by number. But it is vital that I follow the lines because it has a story to tell. And for some reason, what I draw creates in this world. And with that, with great power comes great responsibility. I was praying to my Father one day, I'd say in December, maybe January, and I said, Father, how do I do this? How do I share it? When suddenly, at the bottom of the door, and I was reluctant to draw towards the bottom because that's usually where the bad stuff is. I don't want to do that anymore. I saw letters appear. An E, an S, an H, an E, a T. I was like, what is that? And then an H, an O, a Z. And my rule, you draw it if you see it. Well, and it was in the door. Those letters all ran together. I don't know, probably around the 4th letter or word in, I thought, ooh, I better stop and make sure the enemy isn't tricking me with a spell. I'm always testing the spirit, yo. And Abba's okay with that. He wants that. So I started to Google these letters, and I'm here to tell you. When I was born again, my mom told me, you should learn Hebrew. How does she always know these things? But I was busy, and I wasn't able to. Anyways, it didn't take very long for me to realize the first 3 words were actually in Hebrew. And in only God's time, over the next couple of months, the rest of the words appeared. And then I began to translate the rest. And the entire collection of words, every one of them a Hebrew word I'd never known before. They told the story, my story, of the past 10 months. Yeah. I can erase them, which I'm doing right now just to clean it up, with no worries of them ever disappearing because they are in the door. My Abba gave me the words to tell you. He gave me the story so I wouldn't have to struggle with how to share. And the ending is my favorite because only when I found that last word and I read it, I knew it was confirmation of something so big. I have the sign of the prophet Jonah. No, in all accounts, this is big. I am the sign of the prophet Jonah. An evil and adulterous generation shall seek for a sign, but none shall be given to them except for the sign of the prophet Jonah. I have it. I am it. And I know that it's time now to get to that part and to share. And although I'm not sharing it in this video, I will be sharing it very soon. No pressure, Colette, no pressure. You got this, Jet. This is what you train for. Wings to chest, wings to chest. As you can see, I've been working on my other door, my last door. Whoa. Well, no, sometimes words just come right out of my mouth and I wasn't prepared myself. You see, after I burnt the 3 doors, immediately, days after, I was in church with my mom, like we go, and I opened my Bible and it said, burn the floor, which I actually burned 4, and then create a new book with the words that were given to you on the first. Judgment Day was my favorite, and it made me so sad to have to burn that one. It was. My husband said, why don't you just draw that one again? And I was like, I'm never drawing again, never. You stand with 4 fallen angels and fight them and then have to burn the door, and it was a lot. If you witnessed it, you saw it firsthand what was happening. But I did. Halfway through that door, I opened the Bible. My Father said, they're onto us. The enemy is coming. And I ended up having to burn that door. Another version of Judgment Day where immediately myself and Yeshua appeared. All of the words from the original book, I could say, but it was the door. I started this door afterwards. And again, Yeshua and I appeared first, and all of the things, they appeared. And I heard in my heart and my mind and my body and my soul, this one will never be burned. This one is the final one. This is the one that will bring it all to where it needs to be. And pew, 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 spiritual attack after attack, I stood firm in my ground and said, never again will I burn this. But on that note, I have kept it very private, and I have not shared it on TikTok at all. But it's time. It's time now. And with that, my next video will be sharing the words at the bottom of the door. I'm not certain I can even get it into a 10-minute video, but let's try. I will share the words and also the door. And then after that, I'll share the sign of Jonah.